evening, I'm Valentina Wilson.
And I'm Wes Goforth. Welcome to News Channel 12 at 6. Forest rangers in Carteret County are still monitoring smoke from a Mother's Day fire that has burned dozens of acres so far. They believe someone set that wildfire. News Channel 12's Mary Lee Moore was there today to show you the efforts to keep it from spreading.
That's right. I was out there in the area of Sam Hatcher Road in Newport for most of today. Forest rangers are telling me they believe someone started this fire. They now have law enforcement looking into this. I checked this afternoon, and right now about 82 acres are affected. The wildfire started early Sunday afternoon. By the time crews responded, they say the fire was spreading quickly.
It was running very fast, and we had approximately 9 structures threatened.
So they got to work setting up a perimeter, something that took them until late Sunday evening to accomplish. Even though the initial threat has passed and the fire is out, the job isn't over for the Carteret County Forest Rangers.
We're actually going to be watching this fire daily for probably the next 10 to 15 days because we're not forecasting rain for a while. The main concern right now is making sure it stays in the line, and we have southwest winds forecasted later in the week that are going to get gusty. So we want to make sure our lines hold. While
they monitor the area for a potential flare-up, they're also investigating how the fire started in the first place.
There's definitely human cause, human element. We're still looking into the specifics. It's been turned over to our law enforcement and U.S. Forest Service law enforcement.
He tells me they bring in the U.S. Forest Service law enforcement when they need additional help looking into a case. They do not know how long that investigation will take at this time. Reporting live, Mary Lee Moore, News Channel 12.
And the Rangers tell Mary Lee there's always a chance that fire will flare up again in the hot and dry weather that we are expecting throughout the rest of the week.
I'm meteorologist Sonny Coxon across eastern Carolina. We do have those temperatures still very warm out there. It's 80 in Beaufort, 83 in New Bern, and looks like about 82 in Washington, but still 86 in Greenville. And you can see the 86 at Kenansville as well. These temperatures certainly above where we normally should be for this time of year, a trend that will continue throughout the week. Otherwise, take a look at the radar. Nothing out there this evening. We're all dry and mainly clear. As you can see on the satellite radar together, really hard to find clouds. In fact, over the entire southeastern part of the country, we're looking okay. A few clouds offshore, but again, I think for the most part, we're going to remain clear, just like these clear skies you see over the top of the bridge here. Looks like about 80 degrees at 7 o'clock, down to 70 by 11 o'clock tonight. And look at all the clear skies. That will continue tomorrow, but those temperatures, they're headed on up. I'll have details on that coming up in about 10 minutes.
Well, we're following a terrible crash that happened in our state today involving 3 vehicles and at least 3 tractor trailers in addition. This happened on I-95 near the South Carolina border, just south of the border. Investigators say 4 people are known dead, and it's not clear how many more are hurt. Officials have not said what caused all this, but witnesses say it appeared one of the trucks had some kind of fuel tank problem and caught fire to start it. The flames and fuel then ignited other vehicles.
Parking can give you a headache just about anywhere you go, but drivers say it's a growing problem in Greenville. News Channel 12's Rosita Cox tells you about a research study that aims to provide solutions.
It's a challenge in most big cities, and with more businesses and people moving to Greenville, parking is a problem here too.
Especially here in Greenville, we're growing so fast.
That's why the city voted to approve a citywide parking study. The first step, ask you what you want. Some of the drivers I spoke to say the leased lots are a big issue.
I think some of the leased areas, they could be open to the town for the people when they come down for these events.
It's also hard to know where you're allowed to park and where you're not allowed to park.
Mayor Alan Thomas says he's going to address that.
There are many private lots throughout Greenville as well, so we're trying to better mark those lots to make people clear.
Drivers gave feedback at this meeting, the first parking study input meeting. Mayor Thomas says an important step in fixing the issue is expanding on what is already there.
First thing you do to find additional parking is look along your existing roads and corridors. If there are certain areas that are conducive to put parking along those edges, if certain roads aren't used as much anymore as they may have been in decades past, and also restriping.
Now, Mayor Thomas said there's no specific timeline on when these parking problems will be solved, but he says the more feedback from the community, the quicker the solutions. Reporting in Greenville, I'm Rosita Cox for News Channel 12.
If you couldn't make it to the first meeting today, you can head to our website to find out how to give your feedback.
Free or reduced lunch could soon be a thing of the past for your child. The benefit is on the chopping block for tens of thousands of North Carolina students. The cuts are part of a proposal that is included in the state Senate's approved budget plan. And if that bill passes and becomes law, 50,000 kids would be affected. It would also reduce the number of families eligible to qualify for SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps. That doesn't sit well with child welfare advocates,
which puts them at greater risk of food insecurity, which just means that they don't have enough food to eat. And when that happens, it's hard to be healthy and it's hard to be successful in school.
The current Senate proposal is supported mostly by Republicans. One Republican sponsor, though, believes the provision would eliminate abuse and misuse of the program.
A judge sentences a New Bern man to more than 7 years in prison for several breaking and enterings. Tommy Jeter pleaded guilty today. Prosecutors say he stole several lawnmowers from a business in New Bern last October. They say he also stole several pumpkins and had drugs on him. Investigators say Jeter broke into his neighbor's garage last November.
A 15-year-old student faces charges tonight for her alleged connection in a brutal fight caught on camera. Investigators say the student is charged with assault on school grounds. The fight happened Monday at East Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte. Video shows a chaotic scene at the school's hallway right here. It appears a STAG member is trying to break up the fight. A former student of the school saw the video and can't believe how much things have changed.
When I graduated here, the school wasn't like that. There's more discipline, and students won't go against teachers like that.
Charlotte and Mecklenburg school leaders say they are checking into that case.
The Beaufort Drawbridge is up and running again tonight. It fell on top of a boat this morning. Coast Guard officials responded. They say no one was hurt and the boat had only minor damage. Crews stayed to inspect the bridge and make sure it wasn't damaged. They reopened the bridge when they determined it was okay.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Vidant hosted its 5th annual Mental Health Expo today. 50 different exhibitors showing up to talk to the public and answer questions about mental health services that the university provides. The hospital. The expo focuses on behavior and substance abuse health.
Our goal, as this is May is Mental Health Awareness Month, is really to help folks understand about mental health and how they can get help, as well as to help destigmatize it.
Mayor Thomas also signed a declaration making May Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Greenville.
Onslow County is one step closer to having its own free dental clinic. Onslow Community Outreach will run the clinic and provide services to people in need. News Channel 12's Jessica Albert shows us the space that will be used for the clinic.
This is the site for the clinic. 2 retired dentists donated it to the Onslow Community Outreach.
The 3,500 square foot clinic is located on DeWitt Street in Jacksonville. It will serve underinsured, uninsured, and low-income patients. The Onslow Community Outreach hosted a dedication ceremony this week. In addition to the dentists who donated the space, another set of local dentists, Virginia Wilson and her husband, will provide care to patients 2 days a week. The Outreach's executive director expects the clinic to open in August. He says the project wouldn't be possible without the help of many in the community.
It is through partnerships and sharing of information that we are able to address this need in a more significant and a comprehensive manner at this point in our community than we've had previously.
Reporting in Jacksonville, Jessica Albert, News Channel 12.
Onslow Community Outreach received a $140,000 grant that will help pay for supplies for the clinic.
A child in North Carolina is recovering from an awful experience tonight. If you stick around, we will show you exactly what happened to that child on a school playground.
And tonight on World News, did one of America's closest allies provide the report that accuses President Trump of sharing classified information? And we're also getting word of a new report from the New York Times. It says Trump asked the former FBI director to shut down the Michael Flynn investigation.
And as you take a look at the patio index for tonight, it could be a little bit uncomfortable out there, but as we go through the evening, at least it will cool down a little bit. I'll show you what to expect for these hot temperatures and how long they'll last. It's after the break.